Hello and welcome to Talk the Line. My name is Jen Long. This is the podcast where I talk to a musician generally about something that they are passionate about. That thing that is occupying about 98% of their brain space at the moment, alongside all the usual stuff like music and updating your social media. We usually sit down in a room, sometimes in a bar, sometimes in a park, and talk for about 45 minutes about their secret obsession. We upload a new episode every Friday. You can check out all our previous episodes at talktheline.blog, including some of our biggest episodes. We have been going for an entire year now. You can check out the likes of Johnny Flynn talking about psychogeography, Dan from Bastille talking about podcasts, Meta, and Amanda Palmer on the things you are not supposed to talk about. You can follow us on social media at Talk the Line. You know how that works. You can follow me at Jen Long. And if you like this podcast, if you have listened a couple of times, please do subscribe. It means we end up in your phone or listening device every single Friday. You never have to lift a finger apart from to press play. Pop star Tove Styrke was raised in the Swedish city of Umeå and grew up banging on the piano and singing around the house all the time until hearing the music of Björk at age 10 changed her life. She began her career on Sweden's version of Pop Idol, and her self-titled effort went platinum in Sweden and earned a nomination at the Swedish Grammy Awards. But it wasn't until 2015's follow-up Kiddo that Tove established her identity with the record hailed as a feminist pop triumph by Time magazine. Sway is her third full-length album, and she says it's a collection of love stories looking at the good and the bad of being in love, the romance and the anti-romance. The album's release comes after a long world tour with Lorde, which featured the pair duetting on Robyn's iconic song Hang With Me. I caught up with Tove in a little office in West London to talk about personality types while she shoved a lot of snus in her mouth.
Are we going to kind of chat about personalities and then use the book as the sort of central point?
We can I think that we can seriously skip the book because it's if you've gotten into the 16 personalities thing and feel like that's a good thing, we can leave the book out because that's way simpler. It's simplified, and I don't really know because I've read both.
Okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
it's whatever.
I mean, I had a look into the 16 personalities Myers-Briggs stuff, and I found it quite confusing.
Did you find good text on the colors?
No, I don't. What's the colours? That's the book. That's what the book's about, right?
Yeah.
I got all these four letters. What is it? Extrovert.
Yeah.
Intuition.
Exactly.
Feelings.
Feelings. I know what you are.
You know what I am.
Yes.
But see, we're talking about personalities. I should probably have started. So I'll do it. I'll stick an intro on it. I'll stick an intro on it before we put it out and everything.
Yeah. This is going to be so rambly and weird and just a train of half-finished thoughts, I feel like. But yeah, bear with us. Yes.
Yeah. Because my only introduction to this is when you're in an office environment and it's lunch break and everyone's like, oh, let's do this personality test that I did in my last job. Yeah. And I swear I got a different result to the one I got this time.
Yeah.
Which is also a bit confusing because I was like, does that mean that it's not reliable? Does that mean my personality has changed? Does that mean I was just in a totally different mood when I did it? Does that affect that sort of stuff? I don't know.
I mean, of course it does. I've been thinking so much about what I got because I didn't really first I was like, oh my God, am I a logician? What? Am I logic? But then when I started reading it, I think what you have to do is really read and maybe read up on different ones and feel which one feels this is me. When the one that really explains that stuff that you can't explain to others about yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's all about how you take in information, how you're just how you value information, for instance. And I thought it was really funny because you got ENTJ, which is hold on.
Okay.
Can I get a little bit rambly?
Yeah. Use the website and stuff because
I have
a lot of information to remember.
There's so much information about this.
And it's also kind of what's the word, like self-indulgent as well.
Yeah, it's you feel like, yeah, it's like you just sit and think about yourself.
Yeah.
But it's like good because, like, okay, if I can talk a little bit about me then.
Yeah, let's talk about you. Absolutely.
Okay. So what I think right now that I am is an INTP, or that's the one that I feel feels the most.
So did you find this out by doing the like online questionnaire thing?
Yeah.
Or did you do it by reading through and going, actually, that's me?
First I did the questionnaire and I got that one. And then I read and I was like, maybe, maybe not. So I kept looking at other ones. And the more I read about it, the more I felt like, yeah, this is actually true. But, okay, so here's the thing. So everybody, there's like, aside from these 4 letters that you get in the test, 16personalities.com if anybody wants to do it. There's also like, there's 4 like cognitive functions, I think it's called, which is like things that your brain do. So one is thinking, one is intuition, one is sensing, and one is feeling. And all these all these things can be either introverted or extroverted. So me, for instance, I am, it's internal thinking, external intuition, internal sensing, and external feeling. And in that order. Because also these 4 things, thinking, intuition, sensing, and feeling, they are like, you can put them in order, or like your personality type depicts what order they come in, which one you like to use the most. So me and you as well, because you have the same order of these, but they're swapped. So where I'm internal, you're external. You're an external thinker. Right. I'm an internal thinker. Okay. And you're an internal intuition, and I'm external intuition. So we have the same, like, they're in the same order, but swapped.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool, I thought.
That's cool. And is that as basic as I think out loud? Or what does the introvert-extrovert bit mean? Because that's what I was kind of confused about. I was like, so that just means I'm like really loud with all my thoughts? Or does that mean like...
I think it's more like if you, like me, for instance, with thinking, I think more, for me it's more about like the thoughts that are in my head, sorting things in my head to myself. It's like a private thing, thinking to me. It's like mine, and a lot about, I think about the thinking process. So it's very much in my head. Whilst I think an extroverted thinker is more like thinking about the world around them. Right. Like wanting to solve something. Actually, there's a good example I heard. This is so rambly. This is like a lecture.
No, I love it.
I'm like, I'm actually a pop singer, but here I am talking about like stuff that I don't know anything about, but I'm very fascinated by.
Sure, this is why I like doing these interviews versus just asking you about your new album or something, because I think you get to understand the person a lot more. Yeah. And I also think it's nice for you, if you're doing like a whole run of interviews, not to be asked the same questions over and over again.
It's so much fun. This is like therapy.
Great, that's what we want.
Yeah. No, but like, okay, so for you and me, for instance, then if yours is correct, maybe you are something else and need to like look into it more and feel so. But let's just assume that
part of me kind of thinks that it's just because when I read it, it was like famous people like you, and one was Margaret Thatcher, and I was like, fuck this.
I think yours is like very rare as well. It's like one of the cooler ones.
Ooh, yours is quite rare too, isn't it?
Yeah, but
you're like a 1%er though.
No, I'm 4. You're 3%. Yeah, you it's unique.
I'll take that.
Yeah, but like, so for extroverted thinkers, you, introverted thinkers, me. For instance, if somebody is sitting in a car and I'm driving, and the other person says like, oh, there's a McDonald's over there, I will just take that as, oh, they wanted to share information with me. I want to save that information. Good, I like information. I'm going to keep that and know that it's there, and I'm going to say, okay. But somebody who's an extroverted thinker is more about like, if somebody shares information with me, they want me to act on that. They want something from me.
I was like, they want to go to McDonald's.
Exactly. So then you would be, oh, you want to go there? And that person, maybe, they wanted to go there. Or maybe they were just, no, I was just saying, you know?
Right.
So it's like different ways of processing and valuing information, and I think it's so cool.
And so that's why you end up kind of thinking that someone's like weird or a bit of a moron.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, there's a McDonald's over there. And you're like, oh, great. Shall I pull in? Like,
yeah.
They're like, no, I'm just like, well, I can see there's a McDonald's. Why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's so cool because, like, when I started reading about this, I was like, because you walk through life and you just, or at least you have these people that you just don't understand, and you just think, why are they weird?
Yeah.
Why do they, what's wrong with them?
Like
something
rude or arrogant or abrasive or
Yeah, but it's just like people are so different, like fundamentally different in how we think. And by understanding also, like for me, for instance, then I have like the feeling part of things is last. That's like my weakest, that's like the thing that I naturally use the least. So like in knowing that, it's easier for me to be like nice to people and avoid situations where people think I'm an idiot. Because some other people have that on the like top of their list. It's the most important. Like, how does everybody in this room feel?
Right. So you like fundamentally, not necessarily all the time, but like as part of your personality, you wouldn't be thinking about the feelings of other people around you as much as you'd be thinking about your own internal dialogue.
Then not as much.
Right. Yeah.
It's not the thing like.
And it doesn't mean you don't care.
No, exactly. Like for instance, my partner and I, we're very different. Like he's very like feelings, like relationships with other people. That's his biggest priority. And for me, I just want everything to make sense.
Yeah.
I just want everything to be like work and you know.
Yeah.
And I expect that if you're sad, you tell me that you're sad. But he expects people to like just pick that up because he does that. He always tries and like keep track of what people are feeling. It's important to him. So it's important to understand like, okay, maybe I need to like ask me, for instance, I really need to ask people how they feel about situations, or like, how's your life? No, but like I need to like really try and do that because otherwise people can get really hurt. And like, and it's not my intention to hurt people. It's just like I show like love and respect and like and that I care about people. I show that just in other ways, like maybe like taking care of situations, or if somebody is sad, I come with like good advice, like you should do this, and maybe they just want like a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah. So I was reading it in my thing. It's like rather than like offer condolences, you'll like try and offer a solution.
Yeah.
And whenever someone's like, I'm having a shit time at work, I'm like, oh, sorry, do you want to cuddle? I'm just like, right, what can we do about it?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Because
have
like
you spoken to HR?
Exactly. Like, because there's a solution. Like, we can fix this. We need to fix this.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to cry anymore. We can fix this. So it's like, and like all the different, like, no matter like, because I think that's also a thing, like thinking types. I think people, they can sound quite cold and like, but all of them, they're like good. There's no bad personalities.
I've definitely gotten in trouble I'm not working in an office now, but at times when I've worked in that kind of environment, I have always gotten into trouble for like being too abrupt or insensitive when it comes to like working along a timeline of things, where you're like just like, why are you doing that, stupid? Or like, why have you not done this? Like, you are useless. Like, I kind of think, not quite that harsh, but like,
no, yeah. And like
reading this, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's just like part of my personality, and I should probably try and like be a bit more diplomatic.
Yeah, it's really cool because I mean, like, you can get so much better at things by just like realizing what other people need. Yeah. And the whole like that book thing, I hope they should release that in English. It's like a huge success in Sweden.
So the book, what's it called again?
It's Surrounded by Idiots.
Yeah, that was it. It's a great title. But I could only find like a Spanish translation of it. I couldn't find a British one. Yeah,
but it's quite new, I think.
Right.
Yeah. There's another one as well that's called Surrounded by Psychopaths. I haven't read that, but I'm very excited about that too.
Same author.
Yeah. And that one it's like built I think he's been working mainly like he made this model sort of to help in work environments, to like help a very like red boss, for instance, communicate information to a green staff, you know, because that's all like there's like 4 colors, and then you can be like super red or like red bluish or like red yellowish. So you can like, it's not just 4, but
as I feel like the personalities, the 16 personalities thing I read with all the little characters were color coded. Do you think it'd be color coded in? I feel like they
haven't
maybe
thought
it was
about
just
that.
like a design.
No, but I know there are categories. I think it's like thinkers, feelers, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like the purple ones, the green ones, you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't thought about if it translates to the book.
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they just picked some arbitrary colors.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just a coincidence.
Maybe.
So, did you get interested in this because it was like a kind of big book in Sweden and lots of people reading it? It was like a kind of trend, or was it something that you already had previous knowledge or interest of? Like, where's your fascination with like understanding your personality and other people's personality? I love that you've got that snooze stuff.
Yes.
It's so weird.
I always have it. Like, what's that?
Have you got a little hole? Have you got a little pocket in your gum? Have you worn a pocket in yet?
How do you know about this?
I have.
You're not supposed to know about this. This is Swedish secrets.
I have some Norwegian friends who are.
Some people have them like up to half their nose.
No.
Yeah. Not me though.
Wow.
I'm not that deep.
Yeah. It's really like not Scandi, but that whole region is.
It's Norway and Sweden, I think.
Just Norway and Sweden.
Yeah, I don't think they're allowed to sell it anywhere else. And like LA, because there's so many Swedes there. Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Drawing attention to your snooze pocket.
My snooze pocket.
Was it? Is this something that you've always been interested in, like trying to understand other people, or did your kind of knowledge of personalities and your fascination with it develop around reading this book?
I think I think I've always. I mean, like I love categorizing things.
Because you're a logician.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce
Maybe.
it? Yeah.
Maybe it all makes sense, you know? No, but I kind of like it. Because I've thought about this, like, often when people ask me about songwriting and stuff, especially recently, I just, like, it's always just about people. I like trying to figure people out, especially people that are not like me, because their behavior seems so strange to me. And I just want to, I think it's so satisfactory to sort of figure out a pattern somewhere, like, okay, so this person is a little bit like this person in this situation, and when I do this to a person who usually responds like this in a work environment, this happens, and now it happened again. Like, I love finding these little things and categorizing and just, you know, sorting things out. I think that's, I don't know.
It's almost like doing your own sociological research.
Yeah, and I'm always doing it. I've realized it's just something that always goes on with me. And I know, like, for instance, like before I, like my initial plan in life, or like my B plan, rather, like other than music, like if I were to get a real job when you're 15 years old and they ask you that, I was like, I think I want to do something psychology, like something around that. So I think it makes sense, like with me.
Yeah, and then the book was the sort of thing that brought it all out and kind of.
The test was the thing.
Test.
Yes.
16 personalities.
Yes,
test.
because somebody just like for fun in a session was like, "Have you tried this?" I did it, and it was weirdly accurate, and I was like, it's like star signs or whatever, which I've also been so into.
I was gonna ask you about this.
Yeah, because I love that too. But what I don't like about it is because I can't because this you can it's like facts, because I think it's facts, but it's it really connects to how the brain works, and you can go back to anxiety works like this. It's very fact based.
Yeah,
but I can still find the same structure when you look at or talk about star signs.
Because when I was reading it, I was like, this is kind of some of these traits are kind of similar to that of my star sign. And I'm not
cool.
particularly into
Magic is real
astrology that much. I don't.
No, but seriously,
I'm not normally the kind of person that's like, oh, that's because you're a Libra with a Scorpio rising. But
well,
like,
you know that too.
is that a thing? Because I just made that up.
Okay, no.
I know that there's like a rising thing.
Yeah, I wondered if you knew what your rising was.
Oh, I think I'm like double Leo.
That's really cool.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'd have to text my friend Jess because she's got the chart on her phone. She's always telling me about it. But I was reading something in it that was like, I was like, okay, that kind of sounds like my star sign. Like, do you think they're linked? Or is it just parallels between personalities and the kind of traits that are attributed to different star signs?
I don't know, because I just recently started thinking about this with the star signs, because to me, I've always looked at it as like, like it's fun, but probably everybody could identify with every star sign if
like
you
when
really
you read
like
a horoscope and you're like,
like, because I was kind of tricked once when they were like, everything has been like wrong with the star signs, and they were like, oh, suddenly you're a Libra, and I was like, started reading, and I was like, oh, I'm a Libra, but yeah, I am. I kind of bought it.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it's a little bit like
and
that.
who did that? Someone just tricked you?
No, but it was like a thing, like false, like fake news kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Like NASA is saying, like, wait, what?
Oh God, some people have too much time on their hands.
Yes. me too sometimes.
So, with your personality and your star signs, what are the parallels between the two? Do they complement each other, or is this just like?
I don't know, because I really feel like they're different things. But I think that my star sign also makes sense on me because I'm a Scorpio, which is like the like overall thing. My sun sign is Scorpio.
Right, yeah.
But there are some things with Scorpio because they're kind of like chill and cool, and people can perceive them as arrogant. This matches my personality.
Yeah.
But I always thought that like that's kind of weird because I'm not that chill in here. Like I might look like I got things under control, but it's very like it's a lot in my head. And then I did some digging, and then my moon turns out it's Virgo, which is more like anxious. Everything needs to be in order. Everything needs to be like good and organized and like more feeling-y that way. Yeah. And then also my rising or ascendant, or what it's called, which is what you sort of want to project out, what you want people to feel about you, is Leo, which also kind of makes sense, like, because I like being like the center of attention and like having everybody look at me, and I'm this like warm, nice person. So like together, I think it's kind of accurate and like makes
that's interesting.
It's so weird.
So weird.
Yeah.
You're right. The magic is real.
Yeah, and also like, because I read somewhere that Scorpios and Taurus, that they go really well together, and like it's Taurus and also Cancer, they're good, and like most of my best friends are Tauruses and Cancer. That's so crazy.
Because I was gonna say, you know how sometimes when you read those like things about astrology, and it's like you, as a Leo, whatever, your best partners are, and it tells you like the people with star signs that you're best to like date and best to be friends with and things like that. And like, does that also happen with personalities? Like, would our personalities be like friends in real life?
Yeah, I think our personalities, they're good because they're good together, because both you and I are more like discussing things, like not too much like that emotional like feeling, more like, oh, we need to do this, we need to find a solution, blah blah blah, move on. And it's not like if you just told me that no, you're wrong, stop doing that, like you told that you did to your coworkers, I wouldn't get hurt because I just want the end result to be good.
Yeah.
So I don't really care about that the same as you do. It's just like
we would plan a good night out.
Yeah, but like I think we would make a good team. Like, but I think it's also good to surround yourself with people who are more different from you, because you need to work on your like weaknesses to become a person who just can make the most out of themselves.
So both our weaknesses the feeling, because that's our last. Right. Yeah.
But it's still there.
Because I was reading it and I was like, oh my God, I like probably sometimes come across as like, you can swear on this podcast, but I'm not going to say it, but like a bit of a C-bomb sometimes.
but I mean, like, I think that you shouldn't like feel like that's a downer. I think it's just a good thing to like realize that, but you can always just like, it's not like your personality type doesn't define you. I mean, like, you could always like, you can put in work and do like whatever you want. Like, for instance, it's like women like women, for instance, who are like thinking personalities, they're often way better with the feeling part, because how society is, like gender roles and stuff. So women learn earlier, we sort of have to be more attentive and like caring and nice to each other.
Would that be intuition?
Expected.
Would that be intuition? Kind of realizing your surroundings, that you need to up your feeling?
Maybe.
Well, what are the other letters then? So feeling is like being aware of other people's emotions, or I guess if it's introverted, aware of your emotions. Is that the way that introvert extrovert works?
I'm better at like the cognitive function. I must admit, and there's like, let me see. There are two, like thinking and wait, hold on. Thinking and feeling are judging things.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's like a category. They're the judging traits.
Yeah.
And then the other two, which is intuition and sensing, they are perceiving. So I think that's sort of like how, I don't know. But like, it's so much.
I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I was like, there's only a few letters. It'll be totally easy. It's heavy. It's complex.
Yeah, you can always like go deeper and deeper and deeper. It never ends.
And I love that the Myers-Briggs thing was just like a mum and her daughter. Like, she just kind of got a bit fascinated during World War One.
Yes.
And then she didn't even have like a degree.
No,
neither of them did. They both just like...
And people still use it. It's just like...
Yeah. So even though you say you're not an expert, like, you could come up with the next model.
Oh, maybe I could.
Yeah.
I'm good at
using
categorizing things.
Cognitive categorizing. And in terms of the colours from the book, how does that differ to just having like a chart saying this is your personality? And how does the colours...
I think the colours, it's more about...
God, you're really going through that snooze.
I know, it's always like this. It's on promo days. And also when I drink stuff, it's like you wear them out faster.
Okay.
I'm
Sorry.
drinking coffee. I'm not drinking. I'm not like that. I think like in terms of the book and the colors, then you just have to sort of like, you don't do a test, or I haven't found a test. There probably are tests, but I haven't found it. But you just like identify, okay, this is like how I usually behave. Like, am I very like focused on moving forward? Am I like a fast person? Do I care a lot about other people's opinions? Am I very meticulous? Want everything to be correct, and I always want to be correct. Am I the silent type, the entertaining type? You just like sort of tick off and find the color, or maybe 2 or 3 colors even, that like suit you.
Oh, okay, so you can have more than one.
Yeah, you can be like
a rainbow,
a little mix. Yes, but usually there's like one. It sort of has to be one that's
like a dominant one. What's your dominant color?
I think I'm mostly red.
Okay.
Actually, which is like bossy. I don't know.
I mean,
like,
the connotations of red are like danger.
Yeah, but I'm also like, I'm not. I think I'm also like a little yellow, which is like like in my job, for instance, I'm good at like being the center of attention and entertaining people and like keeping a conversation fun. But I can also easily like just talk over other people, which is also very yellow and also very red. But I also got some of the blue because I'm very meticulous and like for instance with songwriting, I'm a pain because I really don't care about like what other people think. I just want to like become the best thing, and I can. So I'm almost more focused on the process being correct and right than the solution, which is not very, or like the finished, like the end.
Yeah, because I was going to say to be like a cognitive logician. Logician. Like that doesn't make me think of like creativity and songwriting, because that makes me think of like structure and like a defined timeline.
Yeah,
that makes me think more of like the manager than the artist.
But I am kind of like, because I am not like, I am creative, but I don't really. I'm not that person who sits and like just feels things and then like I feel like this and let's have red wine and just talk about stuff and then we record it. Like I'm not that person. I'm more okay, is the structure of the song good? Is this resonating with my feelings? Let me think about it. Like I'm much more organized and more like puzzling it together and wanting it to be a good solid thing rather than like that, like you know that like vision that you have, like the image of an artist who's just super creative and wild,
like a nightmare for me.
But it's good, but it's good for me to surround myself with people who are more like that. Just let's just do something weird, because then
and you're like only on the bridge.
No, but like because then I can just like, okay, tell me all your weird thoughts, and then I can just like save the ones that were actually really, really good and outside the box and that I wouldn't have come up with.
So when you're like going into sessions or you're picking people to work with, do you ever make them do the colour test? Do you ever actually go, well, no, you're a red too, so I'm afraid I'm not going to work with you? Secretly I want everybody around me to just do it, but I have already, like with the colours, since it's just 4, it's kind of easy to figure out where people are. 16's a lot. Maybe that's why there's inaccuracies, and you get a slightly different one each time, because it's a lot of room for error.
Exactly. But like, it's, if you read that book, for instance, it's kind of easy to feel like, okay, this person is mainly green. Like I have most issues with green people.
Right. What's green people's main trait then? Or main traits?
I'll just say the negative ones, I feel like. No, but they're really good. Like most people are green. Like it's a very, very good like team player. They care a lot about like the group.
Yeah.
And they don't like conflict. And this is where, because I want everything to just, I'm not afraid of conflict at all. I just want to know what you think, and I want us to be able to have an honest conversation, and if you have an issue, tell me.
Yeah. But
green people are often like that, they won't tell you if they got mad about something or if they don't agree. They rather go away and like,
I hate that.
Talk behind your back. Like,
no, then you never get anything solved.
I know.
God, and you can have like a grudge for 3 years and it turned out it was just a misunderstanding.
I know, and eventually it will come up to the surface, and it will be complete chaos.
It's not healthy either.
There will be confrontation. So like, please. And they're like slow. They
don't like these green people.
They like taking their time, but they're also super nice, and like people like them. People don't like me.
Yeah, it's true. No, people don't like me.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we're on the same, because we can be a little bit. It would have been more difficult to be like, okay, the other people that are like you.
Like if I'd come in as like a green,
super feeling green person. Yeah.
So what colour do you think I am?
I don't know. It feels like you're sort of blue red. Red blue. How do you like do if you're putting together an IKEA thing?
I'm so fucking good at flat pack furniture.
How do you do? Do you like sort everything out before you start? Do you read the instruction? Do you read the instructions?
No.
Okay, you're red. I think you're red. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love flat packs so much.
Yes.
That
It's
and
the
going
best.
to the dump are like my favourite
I
things to
know.
do on the weekend.
I know. No, but I'm the same. I also feel like I'm very, very good at it. But I'm very like I sort everything out. Blah 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 blah.
Oh. Okay, no, I just go straight ahead. I plow straight into everything. I never read the instructions ever.
Okay, you're so red. You're so red. Yes.
And whenever we're like whenever like baking or cooking or doing
Yeah.
anything like this, my
Yeah.
girlfriend gets so annoyed at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally always like, I just started. She's like, "Have you looked at the instructions?" I'm like, "No."
But it gets
She's
done.
like, "Okay, but what is?" Yeah, it always gets done.
It
in
gets
the end.
done because
Yeah.
I could get stuck in like figuring out what recipe for this cake is actually the best recipe. I need to figure this out for 2 hours, and
oh
then
yeah,
there's
God,
no
that's what
cake.
she does. Yeah.
Yeah.
What colour's that?
That she's probably more blue.
More blue.
Blue or green, yeah.
Oh no, not a green.
Not green.
Not a green.
Probably blue.
I hope so.
If she's smart, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I want to make everyone else do the test now.
I know.
That'd be really interesting.
I want to have like a little. I want to have a little index with me all the time. Like, oh yeah, this person is this color.
Is there any like kind of little test that you can do on people, like asking like the question you just asked me about flat pack furniture?
That's kind of telling.
Is it?
Yeah, because if people are really really organized and like, yeah, like if you were to like count all the pieces and put them into like different like piles and like, okay, there are enough screws, not even trusting like IKEA that they put the right stuff in
Which
there.
is blasphemous in your country.
Yeah. No, but like if you're that person, you kind of have to be blue or at least a little bit blue.
Right.
If you're very fast and just want to get things done and like maybe probably red or yellow. Yellow is also fast, but that's they are more sloppy and more outgoing. Like a lot of, like artists who you feel like, oh, you got so much ADHD and you're so lovely and I love you and everything is so fast and you are not hearing a word I'm saying. That's for yellow.
Like yellow would put it up really quickly, but there'd be like one leg left over on the floor.
Yeah, and like, it's fine. Whatever.
It's just a bit wobbly.
We can just put some paint on it or whatever. Like, and I'm standing there like, you can't paint a paint that you don't know if it's supposed to be on this surface, Yeah. Yeah. And green is the most balanced, the most normal, the most, yeah.
Just
and
sit down, read the instructions, do it nice and slowly.
Yeah, and also like one thing, I actually like working with green people because they also are like more on the side that gets things done. Like they're reliable. It may take some time. And you may have to be like kind of careful with their emotions and try and not like be too on them.
Yeah.
But they're like steady people. They're good.
They're good to have in a team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as we're the boss.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does the book give you any tips on working with how your colours can get along with other colours then? Or is it just overall having an understanding of their traits?
No, there are like very like specific tips on how to do stuff. Like for instance, like how to confront people within the different colors. Like for instance, if you're about to confront a red person.
Yeah.
We don't know for sure that you're red, but like if it's a red person, you need to be prepared that they are not afraid to have an argument. A red person can even go as far as like scream at you, like, which can be really like scary for some people. Like for a green person, that's no. So if you're green and like you're going to confront a red person, like be prepared and also like have examples like of how your behavior like in the workspace, for instance, is not really like good. Have examples like when you did this, it led to this person feeling hurt, and in the end they did the worst job, and you want them to be faster at like doing what they're supposed to do. So you need to like have a lot to like you need to have like a solid foundation
structure,
of things that you can like go through and like be prepared that they can be angry, for instance. And with blue people, you have to always assume that they know more facts than you do because they've always spent so much time thinking everything over. So if you want to like critique them, they're open to critique, but make sure that you're right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because if you're not there, they are going to let you know. And like, it's never going to stop, you know. And with yellow people or like with green people, don't be too, like, don't confront them. Don't like deadlines and green people, not good. Like if you feel like something is moving slowly, don't come at them and be like, but this needs to be done on Friday. Can't you have it done by Friday? They will just like shut you off and take a vacation instead. Like,
oh, wow.
You know, it does, you know, so you have to, so there are tips for everything.
This sounds fascinating.
It's so fascinating.
Like I'm really annoyed it's not in English.
Yeah, but it has to be translated because it's such a huge hit, I think, in Sweden. It's like all over, everywhere.
I bet it will come out as soon as we put this podcast out.
Yeah.
We'll let people know in the future if it does. I can't think of anything else to ask you, and we are running out of time.
And I'm out of information. I don't know anything more.
Fab. Perfect timing then.
Fabuloso.
Oh, thank you so much. This was really, really interesting.
It was.
Really enjoyed it as well.
Thank you. Everybody go do the test.
A big thanks to Tove, and if you check out talktheline.blog, we will put up a link to that 16 personalities test. You can also check out other show notes, including all the restaurants that Casey Spooner likes to dine in and all the UFC videos that Koji Radical likes to watch. That's talktheline.blog. Next week on this podcast, I'm talking to Harry from the band Peace about Ashtanga yoga. You have been listening to Talk the Line. I'm Jen Long. This is a podcast from the line of Best Fit, produced by Paul Bridgewater with original music by Seams. If you like this podcast, please do subscribe, send us lots of messages on social media, or be an absolute legend and leave us a nice review. See you next week.